Hello Internet, I'm the Disney Brain and welcome to another edition of The Top. Today, we'll be looking at the top 10 best Disney Channel shows. Agree? Disagree? Throw your thoughts down below. And please, don't be too mad if your personal favorites didn't make the cut. This is mostly opinion after all. If you've got a show to defend, throw it in the comments. But let's keep the flame wars at a minimum. Agreed? Great. Let's get started.
Jimmy, get back to work! Aw, man!
This series feels like the perfect extension of one of my all-time favorite Disney movies. The whole idea in the movie was that Stitch was a rogue experiment named 626, so it makes perfect sense to dive into what those other 625 experiments might be like. It's got all the same colorful characters and continues the take-home message of Ohana, which, of course, means family. Lilo is strange, unorthodox, and anything but the status quo, and that's exactly why she's one of my favorite Disney characters. It might not be for everyone, but for me, it's tons of fun and a solid start at number 10.
Bow!
This show was actually the first Disney Channel show I ever watched, and I also think it's one of the funniest. Oscar Proud and Sugar Mama absolutely make this show, with their interactions being some of the absolute highlights. The supporting cast leaves a little bit to be desired, but there isn't anything wrong with them. This show would be higher, but because of the horrific movie they made out of it, I had to mark it down a bit. But I'm proud to say that this family makes the cut at number 9. If you've seen any of my other videos, then you probably saw this coming, and I promise that Maddie Rooney isn't the only reason this show cracks the list. But in all seriousness, this show has heart, humor, and likable characters that similar shows like Good Luck Charlie or Dog with a Blog are relatively void of. Dove Cameron does such an incredible job of playing two very different characters that I actually have to constantly remind myself that Liv and Maddie are actually portrayed by the same person. The way she navigates both personalities with a lot of great subtlety would already make their twinship more believable than Zach and Cody, which has everything to do with Dove Cameron being the superior acting talent. At the end of the day, this show is carried by a very strong cast, making it a strong entry at number 8.
Let's go. If you could gaze into the future.
Tell me some of you old school Disney fans still don't get giddy hearing that epic theme song. Now, there's a lot I don't like about this show, which can all be summed up by one picture, but this show is zany, intriguing, and fun from the opening theme to the closing credits. I might be a bit biased by the nostalgia factor here, but there are a few shows we associate with classic Disney Channel more than That's So Raven, proving that it's standing the test of time and earning a comfy spot at number 7.
Oh, snap! Yeah. Yep, that's me. There's 104 days of summer vacation, and school comes along just to end it.
Perhaps one of the most innovative, creative, and entertaining cartoons ever put to TV. Phineas and Ferb takes simple concepts and goes bananas with them, creating all kinds of fun situations. But it's also so incredibly smart with its writing and jokes. And if you haven't seen Across the Second Dimension, it might even be better than the actual show. It's definitely one of the better DCOMs, and it serves as a great example of how to transition from TV show to TV movie. The Summer Never Ends with number 6.
Phineas and Ferb are gonna do it all.
Mom! Phineas and Ferb are making a title sequence!
Here I am in your life. Here you are in mine.
I know that I just criticized the Sprouse twins back at number 8, but the reason I love this show so much has more to do with the supporting cast. Marion Mosby is probably the best acted character in any Disney Channel show. Arwen is a laughing riot, Esteban is hilarious, heck, even Norman the Doorman is memorable for me, and he doesn't even have lines. This show takes the idea every kid who has ever stayed at a hotel would think about and works off the twins as opposed to relying on them to carry the show. There are plenty of cheesy moments, no doubt, but these characters are just too much fun to leave this show out of the top 5. So technically there are better shows out there, but I would say I like The Sweet Life just a little bit more. Until they left the hotel, that is. But in any case, the sweetest way to kick off the top 5.
We've got a sweet life.
point of contention, no doubt, but hey, what can I say? I love the Jonas Brothers, and even if you don't, there's a lot to like about this show if you go in with an open mind. It's one of the funniest shows Disney Channel has ever made, with some solid music and memorable characters. For me, it really felt like this is who the musical trio actually were as people. They were completely believable in this show, and as a fan of their music, it was nice to see. And speaking of seeing nice things, Chelsea Staub might just be one of the most attractive girls on the planet. You can quote me on that. It's fun, it delivers a pretty great finale, and number 4 gave me several new songs to jam to.
Well, you know everything's gonna be a breeze. At the end will no doubt justify the means.
During a period when Harry Potter fandom was still at a fever pitch, Disney had this brilliant idea to make their own magical wizarding world. And it worked! Now, I'm not saying this is better than Harry Potter, let's not be absurd, but this show does succeed on its own more humble goals. They brought Selena Gomez into stardom, who I think is an underrated actress, especially in her DCOM roles. Not only that, but the whole promise of a family wizarding competition from the get-go automatically created a lot of intrigue as to who would win out. For me, the MVP was Justin Russo, portrayed by David Henry, whom I related to the most during the early episodes when I just wasn't as fond of Selena Gomez as I am now. The magic is silly, but that makes it fun as well, and the Russo family generally plays off each other very well. Not to mention that I consider the Wizards movie one of the best DCOMs ever made. This show does so much right that its flaws are pretty easy to forgive for me, so I won't need a spell to place this show at number 3.
Balance of things, because everything is not what it seems.
A bit early to crown this show so highly? Maybe, and you can certainly make that argument, but for me, this show has already taken such large strides and achieved so much in terms of creative and exceptional programming that this has more than earned its praise. If you've seen any of my Girl Meets World videos, you'll know that I have almost nothing but good things to say about this show, and that's a very rare thing. They've tackled everything from bullying to autism to estranged fathers to dead goldfish, and have almost always handled these topics with respect, intelligence, and grace. The amazing characters, the top-notch humor, the great writing, it all speaks for itself if you've watched even one episode. Some might disagree, but while this show is number 2 for now, it's got a real shot at unseating number 1, but only time will tell. All you need to get excited about number 1 is the first second of the theme. My god, what an amazing show. The perfect theme song to get you pumped, a strong and capable female lead, a dorky but funny and loyal sidekick, some of the most intriguing and enjoyable villains you will see on any show. Tell me you still don't have fond memories about Draken talking about his latest master plan. And can we talk about the movies for a hot second? Jeez. Even though they're more like hour-long specials rather than fully fledged DCOMs, they both rock. This show had great characters, great adventure, exciting action, lots of great humor, and they somehow managed to make a naked mole rat into a pet people seriously considered buying for a time there. That is, until they found out what one looks like in real life. Ugh. For me, this show defines Disney Channel shows, and I know that's true for plenty of others since there are plenty of people with communicator jingles as their ringtone. And literally every time I hear it, I'm automatically prompted to ask what the sitch is, even if there's no sitch to be found. That's how impactful this show was and still continues to be. In fact, I might have to go back and rewatch the series after I finish this video. But in any case, this show is my all-time favorite, making it my definitive number 1.
So what's the sitch? Call me, beep me if you wanna reach me.
Thanks for watching. If you like this video, help me out with the likes, subs, and share it all over social media. Next week, we'll take a look at the other side of the coin and dive into the dark void that is the top 5 worst Disney Channel shows. Until then...